everyone! Today you're going to learn how to determine the central idea or theme of a text and learn how to provide an objective summary. First, let's ask ourselves, what are some of the concepts I need to know in order to do this, in order to break this down and know the difference between the two? Here are some things you do need to know. You need to know what a central idea is, what a theme is, and how to find key details about a text in order to figure out the difference between the two, a theme and a central idea. Most of us think we know the definition of central idea and how to look for it, but oftentimes we confuse it with the theme. It doesn't sound difficult to find the central idea or a theme of a text. But oftentimes, students get stuck determining which is which. Is this a central idea? Is this a theme? What is this? Today, we're going to break down these three concepts into 3 easy steps for you to figure out. First, can you find a central idea of a text? Second, can you find the theme of a text? And third, can you find those key details in order to figure out the difference between a central idea and a theme? First, what is a central idea? And isn't it the same thing as a theme? The answer is no. A central idea, also called main idea, and a theme are 2 completely different concepts. And we have the simplest and easiest way to remember what the central idea is for the rest of your life. So here it is. Are you ready? Make sure you have your notebooks out. A central idea is a 1-sentence summary about the story. That's it. It's that simple. It is a 1-sentence summary about the story. The central idea is the idea that the author is trying to communicate to you, the reader. It states both the subject and the author's opinion on the subject. You could think of it as a formula. So you have subject plus what about them or what happened. If the central idea does not include who the story is about or what the story is about, it's probably wrong. A central idea is not a paragraph, and it does not tell us the message of the story or a life lesson. A central idea is specific to the story or text, and you can only use it to describe that specific text or a story. You cannot use it to describe other texts or stories, even if the topics are the same. Let's take the example of Frozen, the movie. Everybody's seen Frozen, right? So let me ask you guys this before you even figure out the central idea. Who are the main characters of the story? Right, Anna and Elsa, for the most part. I know there's some other characters in there, but for the most part, the main characters are Anna and Elsa. Their story is mostly about them and their relationship as sisters. So what happens in the story? I think everybody knows what happens in the story. Right! Elsa's powers are discovered and Anna goes off on a quest to find her sister and save Arendelle. And of course there's a lot of cute songs in between, but for the most part, that's what the story is all about. Now, I just stated the 2 most important parts of a central idea. The subject of the story, that is who or what the story is about. And in this example, it's Anna and Elsa. And what happened to them? Elsa's powers are discovered. Anna goes off on a quest to find her sister and save their kingdom of Arendelle. All of that put together is a central idea. These 2 parts make up a formula to remember the central idea of a text. Subject, who or what the story is about, plus what about them, and we get the entire central idea. Remembering this formula will guarantee that your central idea always remains 1 sentence long. Remember, it's not a paragraph, it's just 1 sentence. All right, let's review. A central idea is a 1-sentence summary of the text. This sentence has to include the subject of the story or who or what the story is about and what happened to them or what about them. I'm going to give you one example and I want you to see if you can identify the best central idea for the story. Alright, so I want you guys to try it out and see if you can do it on your own. So here's the example. I have a dog named Boots. I taught him lots of tricks. When I tell him to, Boots will sit or lie down. He can also wave his paw to greet people. When I say, "Dance, Boots," he will stand up on 2 legs and walk. I don't know of many dogs that can do such amazing tricks. Now, let's think about it. Who's the story about? That's right. The story is about Boots. It's not about a cat. It's not even about the narrator. It's about the dog named Boots. So we know automatically that the answer can't be the last one because it doesn't even mention Boots. Remember, the central idea has to include who or what the story is about. Now, let's work backwards to see if the remaining answers are either details about the story or summarize the whole story in one complete sentence. So we have A, and it states, "Boots is my dog." We can find this in the text, and it's true. However, we have to ask, is this whole story about this, or is it just a detail? That's right, it's a detail about the story, and it does not summarize the entire thing. Now let's move on to B. B states, "Boots can sit." Though this is also true, the whole story isn't about Boots sitting. So this leaves us with option C. C states, "Boots is very smart." Does the story say that explicitly? No, it actually doesn't. Let's see if we can find details to support this as the central idea. Here are some details that support the main idea. When I tell him to, Boots will sit or lie down. Or, when I say, "Dance, Boots," he will stand up on 2 legs and walk. And finally, I don't know of many dogs that can do such amazing tricks. All of this shows us that Boots is smart, and that the key details that we just found of the story helped us to figure out what the central idea of the story actually was. Now, let's recap one more time before we move on to theme. A central idea is a 1-sentence summary about the story. A theme, on the other hand, is the universal message about the story the author is trying to reveal to the reader.